Do they really want to talk about abuse of power? No. And here's why. Adam Schiff was able to obtain the phone records and unmask the names in a public report of private citizens, a lawyer, a ranking member within Congress, and a journalist. Now, how does that even happen? Is Schiff following the KGB book? On September 30th, Adam Schiff told the Republicans inside the Schiff, where everything is deemed classified, that he had subpoenaed for phone records of 5 random numbers. Okay. Well, that resulted in over 3,000 phone records being coughed up. So you remember way back, think of yourself, I mean, like even last year. I know it's hard to remember that. But when did it not, when was it not cool and bipartisan to oppose the gathering of metadata on private citizens? How about when did it become cool all of a sudden and okay to do that to journalists? Schiff used that metadata to selectively unmask and embarrass anyone at all that might have spoken to Devin Nunes or Rudy Giuliani. That included a journalist. Can you imagine the firestorm that would have ensued if the GOP did this? They unmasked the journalists from the New York Times or CNN. They all would have been crying, "Hitler, Hitler!" Now, other journalists are beginning to wonder when their records might be unmasked for simply doing their jobs. John Roberts, of course he's from Fox News, tweeted a few days ago, and many of his colleagues probably have their numbers included in Schiff's list of over 3,000 phone records. Is Schiff just waiting for the opportune time to smear them, or did their inclusion in the report just not fit their narrative? The answer to both of these questions is yeah, and yeah. Schiff used the power of government to smear private citizens, a member of Congress and a journalist. And you better believe he'll do it again if it pays any kind of dividends. So naturally, you'd assume that the media would rush to the aid of one of their own. No. What, they're not defending John Solomon and call Schiff's actions a blatant assault on the First Amendment? Come on. This is 2019. We're almost 2020. We're so beyond that now. There's not one single mainstream outlet defending John Solomon right now. Not one. CNN has been painting Solomon's few phone calls as part of the strategy session with Trump and Giuliani and their cabal. Now think about this for a second. We had the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee unmask and seize the records of a journalist. And the media not only refuses to condemn it, but they're actually saying it's the journalist's fault. The truth is, Democrats have a long history of doing this. Giving credit where credit is due, the Washington Post pointed this out over a year ago. The Obama administration subpoenaed 2 months' worth of phone records from several journalists at the Associated Press back in 2013. Then they outed Fox News reporter James Rosen, renaming him as a co-conspirator in a case involving leaks. Now, who's leading the real assault on the press? The Democrats have a history of surveilling and unmasking journalists, or the president that said fake news.